Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Rich here, back with another video. It is celebration time as Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, Alyssa Smith, Lexi Hull, Christy Size, they are headed to the playoffs. This is a joyous occasion for a lot of us that have been following this season. This is perhaps like one of my favorite single sports seasons for a team that I've ever followed. I've fallen in love with the team, just seeing how they compete together, and it's seemingly them against the world. I thought that it was a really cool gesture kind of with the social media teams last night, and seeing everyone's reactions, and of course I wanted to talk about it. So how did it immediately happen? So the Dream and the Sky both lost their games, which essentially ensured that the Fever would get into the playoffs. The Fever have not been in the playoffs, according to the internet, since 2016. Kelsey Mitchell has never played a playoff minute. The team itself, I believe, has a combined 19 total playoff games, under their belt. And it's going to be, kind of a celebration in itself. I don't think anyone necessarily picked this team to go to the playoffs. Of course, this started at 1-8, literally in hell. The projects, is, people were saying, well, we made it out, essentially. And it became a game-to-game, quarter-to-quarter fight to get better, to build that chemistry, that trust between the way the team was playing last year and the way the team is going to go forward now. It seems like at some point Caitlin was given the keys to the offense, and things have just took off from there. You can not underestimate the Olympic snub, what that did for Caitlin personally, what it did for the team to collectively get a lot of rest, during the Olympic break. And Kelsey Mitchell has come out firing, and she's just been determined to, whether it's a contract year situation, whether she's looking for the big bag, which I hope she gets in Indiana, whatever it is, this team has rallied to be 16-8 after that crazy start, that setup essentially that the WNBA ran on the Indiana Fever in the first half of the year, where they gave them all the top teams. They gave them on short rest. They gave them not a lot of practice time, and Caitlin herself was getting in from the national championship game, and Kelsey Mitchell was coming back from an injury, so this thing had to kind of take a while, and those rotations struggled a little bit with Size being loyal to a lot of her players previously, but I think it largely worked itself out. The people that should have ended up, getting minutes ended up getting them. The people that they should have pulled back from a little bit, I think that happened as well. And over time, I think the generational prospect just became generational in front of our eyes. Looked Diana Taurasi in the face and said, "I'm gonna beat you every game." Came out here and was given 30 points, at least five different times, breaking the single season or a single game assist record with 19, and going all over the country, drawing huge arenas, unprecedented attention with the Fever. And this has really become not even a national team. This has become a global team. There are people all around the world excited about what Caitlin Clark did, what the Indiana Fever itself are doing now, becoming fans of Kelsey Mitchell, becoming fans of Leah Boston, fans of Alyssa Smith. And it has been a real joy to see this team rise up. They're 17-16 on the year now, and I think that they are right now locked into the 6th seed. They have the potential to possibly go higher, but I think the 6 might be a good, spot for them, because then, they get to face off against the Minnesota Lynx possibly in the, first round. And, I think they've had success against the Minnesota Lynx, and call me crazy, I don't see why the Fever couldn't beat the Lynx. I know they got Nafisa Collier, they got Cheryl Reeve over there. Personally, I'd like Caitlin Clark to own Cheryl Reeve the same way Kobe Bryant did George Karl through much of his career, meaning never lose a playoff series to them. I think it would be cool. So what's the ceiling here? I think that's the question we're all kind of asking ourselves. And looking at this, article here, this is their first winning record since June of 2019, which is crazy. This team has been built on, Caitlin, Kelsey, and Alyssa Smith, and Aaliyah Boston. Can't forget. And this is, they say the Fever, the second worst team, their second team in WNBA history to make the playoffs after starting the season 1-8 or worse. The last team that did that was the Charlotte Sting, who no longer exist. I'm looking at it and it's like this team just inspires so much confidence. Offensively, they're peaking at the right time. They're the scary team no one wants to play. If they shock the world, I think it would be among the more surprising things in sports if they were able to win the championship somehow this season, because, I look at the top three seeds. The New York Liberty has been the best team in the league all year, like pretty much wire to wire. The Sun early on looked really good. And then the Lynx. If it was like, hey, who do you want to see in the first round of those three? I'm picking the Lynx. But the Fever have had success against the other two teams, even though, they lost both season series. I think the physicality that the Connecticut Sun wouldn't really affect the Fever as much as it would have earlier in the season. Just the talent gap of the New York Liberty and seeing some of the injuries they had to fight through, I don't think it would be as overwhelming this time. Should they somehow meet up in the playoffs as well. And that brings us to the Minnesota Lynx, who the Fever did get a win over earlier in the season, albeit without Nafisa Collier in the lineup. And the last time the Fever played the Lynx on Myra Moore night, there was, a big loss there, which is the only loss since the break. But I think if you're picking out of those three teams, you want to start with the Lynx. There's a huge contingent of the home court in the Midwest. I think, nothing's going to be a real road game for the Fever. You're going to have support. And I would pick that as an upset, because I think the Fever are too hot right now. And it's been a situation where this team is struggled with the world hoping they fail, it feels like. And, let's not get it twisted. There's a lot of people rooting for them too that, happen to be watching this video or filling up these arenas and all that. But there's just like been, we saw like a glimpse of it when Caitlin started slow. When this team, Chrissy Sides was under a lot of pressure. I had talked a lot about Chrissy Sides on One Nation Radio. And it just didn't look like she had a clue at first, but it feels like she's largely turned the offense over, and it's been an exhilarating team to watch. Very happy to see the Indiana Fever make the playoffs because I just didn't know how it would go. The pieces are there for potentially a dynasty if this thing doesn't get blown up by the league. Eerily built the same way the Las Vegas Aces were. Multiple first-round picks, like high draft picks, have all come together. And, even with Chrissy Sides, like maybe this is a situation where it was like she just had to adjust to her personnel. She had to update her software and realize who she had with the most dangerous backcourt in the league. And with Aaliyah Boston, I think there's like, the key to success is going to be trying to get both Mitchell and Boston playing together like great at the same time. The couple times we've seen that, the team's been unbeatable. And early in the season, Boston was a little bit better than Mitchell. It's kind of switching over to Mitchell right now, but it's feeling like they are rotationally covering, an off game by whoever with, Dantas or Lexi Hull catching fire, or Temi Fagbenle coming back for some minutes. And, the rotation is going to shorten up. But this team has essentially been fighting for their lives all season anyway. They've all played heavy minutes, and and more importantly, they're well rested. Like, I think they're ready, for any team in the league. There's also, the 4-5 matchup of the Aces and the Storm, which that could go either way because those teams, those two West Coast teams, they know each other well, and they play each other like very hard. I don't think Asia Wilson is going to want to go home in the first round, especially, after 2 consecutive championships. I don't know about the reseeding rules. I have to look into that. So, I'm still learning a lot of the stuff about exactly every, how the playoffs are scheduled in the W, because it's head to head with the playoffs. Never really watched a full playoffs before, so I would normally just jump in for random games. But I think what the Fever have a chance to do is something special. Why? Because they've already done something special. So at this point, it's like you're playing with house money. The pressure's off. Like, you made the playoffs, and you're the underdog. So embrace that. I think if you're an Indiana Fever fan, embrace the journey upward, because eventually this is going to be the top team in the league. I don't know how far in the future it's going to be, but that day is coming, and I see the flashes, and you see people slowly changing their tunes about, should this be unanimous rookie of the year? Yes, it should be. Should this be a case where Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell make all WNBA teams? Yes, on both, at least first and second team. Is this a situation where they can get a round one? I fully believe this team can get a round one. I think asking any more for that is wishful thinking, and I'm not going to rain on your parade. If you think they can win this whole thing, sure, be my guest. But I'm expecting at least one round, and for me, that would be like throw the babies in the air. So very happy. The Fever have clinched their playoff spot. Kelsey Mitchell, welcome to the playoffs. Caitlin Clark, keep shutting them up, keep killing them. And this is going to be fun as hell to watch and cover. And I hope you guys enjoy these videos as well. So let's do it, man. Indiana Fever, rise up. Anyway, my name is Rich. I'll holla at y'all next time. Check out all the stuff here. Follow me on the social media. Like the video. Comment on the channel. And let's, keep this thing going. So I'll holla at y'all. Peace.